Hello and welcome everybody. We have the NAEU patch notes for April 30th, 2026. We're going to get right into it. We have a lot of stuff to go through. So first off, the PvP changes, or the class changes are here, also with the AoS season release. There is a mention that they will overhaul some stuff if there is big shifts, but we're going to see about that. So starting off, we have Warrior Prime Earth Tremor. They've improved the combo into a leap attack when pressing F again at max acceleration of the charging thrust. They increased the skill execution speed by a slight amount, increased the jump height and landing speed. The trigger for the fall animation has been adjusted. They've also changed the bound to apply in PvP as well, and they removed the down smash. Prime Scars of Dust, they added a 150 HP per hit recovery. Activating the skill through the Furious Blows empowers the recovery effect to 200 per hit, and it's been changed from a forward guard to a super armor. Prime Heavy Strike, they increased the HP per hit from 115 to 150. Succession Guard, they reduced the stamina consumed while moving on guard from 150 to 75. Seismic Strike, they added an all damage minus 25 for 10 seconds on hit. Frenzied Spear, they changed to perform the last attack via LMB after the first hit. Press LMB after the first hit to perform the last attack in the direction of the screen is facing. The last attack will not activate if the first hit misses. They also added a super armor on the last attack hit, and they increased the movement distance of the last attack performed after the first by approximately 20%. Shield Tide, they changed the first to an immediate upward strike with the shield without a windup. They also changed the offensive and defensive effects on the special attack power damage as follows. So accordingly, the combo timing for the following skills used during Shield Tide has been standardized. This is Guard, Chop and Kick Deep Thrust, / Shield Charge, Takedown, Prime Enhanced Spirit. So now we have the offensive effects, Knockback on attack 1, Down Smash on attack 2, defensive effect Super Armor during attack 2, and special attack damage down attack. Shield Assault, they changed the forward to on attack 1, changed the charge forward on attack 1, and they changed the defensive stance as follows. Now it's forward guard during attack 1 and super armor on attack 2. Moving on, we have Ranger Awakening being touched up. Flow Rushing Wind, they reduced the cooldown from 4 to 3 seconds. Waltz of Wind, they've adjusted the damage and offensive and defensive effects, so the damage has been pushed up by roughly 900% to 4,500. Super armor during the skill, which is nullified during cooldown. If you have the core Waltz of the Wind, they changed the offensive and defensive effects. So before it used to be super armor during the skill, this is now knockback on hits, nullified during cooldown. Spirit's Haven, they added a knockback on hits in PvP. Spirit Shackles, they changed the skill command so it's performed only when E is pressed. The skill will no longer be performed via the Spirit's Haven command while Spirit's Haven is on cooldown. Elven Rage, they've improved the hit detection to ensure all 3 hits land, and adjusted the attack area to match the skill's visual effects. Moving on, we have Maehwa Awakening. Flow, Tip of the Iceberg, they improved attack 1s and 2 to flow more smoothly. Pedal Swirl, they added a forward guard during the skill, which accordingly, stiffness also applies in PvP when learning the core Pedal Swirl. Moonbreak, they changed the stun on hits to floating on hits. They changed the special attack damage from a down to an air attack, and it's been improved so that the skill can be comboed with Cloud Stab. Moonrise, they improved again a combo better with Cloud Stab. Frost Pillar, they improved the skill's execution speed, improved to rotate the character with the camera while spinning the carry sphere. Absolute Red Moon, they improved so that the skill can be comboed into the Flow Cloud Stab again. Frost Feint, they improved to combo better into Pedal Swirl and Moonrise. Changed the character to no longer rotate with the camera during the attack motion, and they removed the combo that increased execution speed after certain skills, and changed to always execute with the same speed, so technically it's been increased. Ice Fang, they improved to combo better with Frost Feint, and improved a combo to Absolute Red Moon, and Flow Cloud Stab, which got mentioned above quite a few times. They removed the Air Smash and improved the combo into Frost Pillars. They also adjusted the PvP damage of the Black Spirit Flow Cloud Stab. The damage application is going down to 37%. Witch and Wizard, Archwizardry, the mass teleport has been changed so the defensive effect goes from invincible to super armor, super armor to invincible to super armor instead of just being invincible the entire time. Wizard specifically, we have the protected area. The cooldown has been increased from 150 to 210 seconds based on protected area 5. And then we have a lot of PvP damage application changes. So Magma Bomb going down to 35.8%, Flames Calling going down to 25%, Hellfire going down to 23%, Belied of Destruction going down to 37%, Barrage of Water going down to 30.6%, Cataclysm up to 45%, Chilling Wave going up to 37%, Aqua Gel Explosion going up to 45%, Aqua Gel Explosion's RNA effect going up to 52%, and the Black Spirit Hellfire going down to 31.2%, and the Black Spirit Cataclysm going up to 38%. Then we have Ninja Awakening, only 2 small changes, or just 2 changes. Shadow Slash, they changed the required resource. Before it was 40 WP, now it's 200 stamina. Also, it's been changed so stamina does not recover until the skill motion ends. Murderous Intent has also been changed the same. It now consumes 150 stamina and also no recovery. Dark Knight Awakening, we have the Flow Darkness Outpouring. They've removed the cooldown. Trap of the Wadir, the cooldown has been reduced by 3 seconds to 7. They also changed the defensive effect from a forward guard to a super armor. Seed of Catastrophe, they added a super armor during the skill. They also changed the floating to stiffness on hit. Accordingly, stiffness is also applied in PvP when learning the core. Changed the character to no longer rotate the camera with the camera after the attack. Root of the Catastrophe, they changed the defensive effect from a super armor to a forward guard, removed the down attack, and changed the character to rotate with the camera at the start of the skill. Shattering Darkness, they adjusted the hit detection to apply at least 2 hits of magic attack damage. Soul Snatch has been improved to combo better into other skills, and they added a knockback on hit. Spirit Hunt, changed so the character no longer rotates with the camera at the start of the skill. Flow Spirit Blaze, they changed the defensive effect to a super armor, and it's been improved so the skill can be comboed from Spirit Hunt with LMB. Dark Nebula, they changed again the defensive effect from a forward guard to a super armor. Lots of damage changes. We have Shattering Darkness, the Phantom Blade damage going up to 56%, the magic damage going down to 27%, the Flow Darkness Outpouring PvP damage remains at 46%, Flow Bombardment, the Phantom Blade going up to 56%, the magic damage going down to 27%, Seed of Catastrophe, PvP application going up to 44.5%, Root of Catastrophe going up to 45%, Soul Snatch up to 50%, Spirit Legacy going down to 38.3%, Dark Nebula going up a tiny 0.01 on the first attack to 29, and a bigger to 36 on attack 2, and Cluster of Despair, the critical hit rate is being, well, unified for PvP as well, and the PvP damage is going down to 40%. Striker Awakening, actually. On Succession, the Crouching Wolf. Wait, why are they saying main weapon awakening? Okay, I think there's a mistranslation here. This is Succession. Okay, so we have the Succession Crouching Wolf. They changed the skill effect to recover 500 HP when using the skill, and they added to recover 1,200 to the Flow Prey Hunt, auto-activated after using the skill. Absolute Roaring Tiger, they removed the 300 HP when using the skill, and they added it to Heart and Soul. Prime Rampaging Predator, they increased the skill range by a slight amount. Prime Knee Hammer, they improved the motion fluidity and slightly increased the movement distance. Prime Somersault and the Rising Blast combo, they changed the floating to a knockdown. And they improved the discharge energy to activate more consistently for the following skills. So we have Ankle Hook, Martial Diva, Combo, Final Blow, Flow Bombardment, Savage Fang, Hidden Claw, and Roaring Tiger. PvP applications are also being adjusted, so we have the Adamantine, or Prime Adamantine 4, going up to 38.7%, Absolute Ankle Hook going up in damage to 2,600%, the extra attack damage going up to 1,800, no change on PvP application. On the Succession Ankle Hook, we have a tiny change of the damage as well, going up to that 2,633% mark. Martial Diva, the attack is going up to 1,737, no change on PvP application. Prime Hidden Claw, PvP application is going up to 29.4. Crimson Fang, PvP application going up to 46. And Absolute Explosive Blow, the damage is going up to 3,150%, or 58%. Moving on, we have Mystic Awakening. Spiral Torpedo has been changed so stamina does not recover. Sea Burial and the Flow, also no recovery of stamina during the skill. Infinite Fortitude, the cooldown has been increased from 40 to 50 seconds. Sea Burial, Rising Wave, and Wave Orb, they changed to recover HP when using a skill to recover HP per hit. They also removed the effect where HP was recovered, which was amplified by consuming Martial Spirit. And the Dragon's Rip has an increased cooldown to 15 seconds. That is gut-wrenching. Lahn Succession is being touched upon, so we have the Prime Blade Dance. They added a down attack, and it's also been changed in the defensive effects. So now it has a forward guard during the Noble Sword attacks and super armor during Crescent Pendulum. Prime Crescent Barrage, they changed the defensive effects as follows. So now it has a forward guard during attack 1 and super armor during attacks 2, 3, and 4. And Prime Furious Chase, they changed the defensive effect from a forward guard during the Striding Slash to a super armor during the skill. And they adjusted the character rotation during the Striding Slash attack 1 to follow the camera only until the attack begins. Then we have some hashed succession changes, so Prime All's Breath. So they changed the defensive effect as follows. Now it is invincible into super armor while disguised and super armor during the skill. Prime Chosen Blade, they increased the recovery HP effect, so it used to be 100, now it's 183 per hit. Prime Quicksand, they changed the stun on hits to stun on first hit, and it now applies in PvP as well. And they changed the knockdown on last hit as well to PvP. Rupture, they adjusted the skill to always trigger the motion after the Shadow Splitter or Purge. Slightly increased the duration and the motion triggered after those skills. Restricted comboing into the skill during the initial motion of Shadow Splitter. It has been added, or has been changed that it can be added to Quick Slot. And it changed floating on explosion attack hits to apply in PvE only. Then we have some PvP damage application changes, so Hourglass of Death going up to 49.98%, why not make it 50? Prime Descent going up to 36.5%. Prime Bridge Reaver going up to 34.44%. Stand Slicer going up to 50.37%. And the Chosen Blade going up to 49.23%. And then Rupture has a slight split, so 50.34 normal attack damage in PvP, and the explosion going, down. That's a down in both cases. So we have a down on Rupture on the normal to 50.3, and the explosion going down to 71.6. Sage Awakening is being touched upon, so the Absolute Rift Chain and Rift Chain 2, the stamina cost has been increased from 200 to 300. The defensive effect is also being changed, so it's invincible into super armor at the start of the skill. The Prime Rift Chain retains invincibility at the start of the skill, and they removed the dummy effect that moved in the opposite direction upon casting and added a visual effect to indicate the movement direction while the character is concealed. A Lightning Prism, they improved the skill execution speed. The Core has changed the CC effect from stun to stiffness. Impaling Flash stamina cost has been increased by 100 to 250, and stamina will no longer be recovered during any motion. Divine Executioner, they changed the required resource from 80 MP to 200 stamina, and the Flow Judgment has also the stamina increased from 150 to 200. Woosa is another one with big changes, or at least on global she had it. Prime Cloud Carve, they improved the skill execution speed. Thunderstroke, Prime Thunderstroke, they improved the skill execution speed and added an all AP plus 24. Sangunja Chrysanth and the Prime Sangunja Chrysanth, they've adjusted the attack area to max, that the max hits are applied even at close range. Silent Strike, they added a super armor while moving. Prime Fan Kick, the all AP has been increased to plus 24. On the Prime Butterfly Dream, it has been increased to 32. Stormfall Cloud Rise, they added a combo into the Wing Beat during the skill. Prime Cloud Rise, they improved the execution speed and changed the stiffness before attack to a stun, and it now is PvP is active as well. Cloud Rise, Absolute, and Prime Cloud Rise, they removed the all AP decrease on hits. Flow Stormbolt, they changed the knockdown to PvP as well, but they removed the down smash. They've also changed the knockdown to apply even when the Storm Cloud left behind from a Prime Cloud Rise combo into Flitting Step or Yangbang Step triggered a Lightning Strike through the skill. Tigerfly, they added a combo for the Flitting Step or Chain Flitting Step. Prime Quiet Waters, they adjusted the Storm Cloud effect summoned by the skill as follows. So they unified the Storm Cloud from the Prime Stormfall to match other skills. They removed the magic damage reduction -15 that applied only in PvP and changed it to an all damage reduction in -20 regardless of type. They removed the stiffness of hit, the effect that strikes powerful lightning and causes stun if Woosa is hit by a CC while a Storm Cloud is active remains unchanged, and they added an all AP minus 20 on hits on the Storm Cloud effect. Prime Rain's Thirst, they adjusted the damage conversion with releasing the absorbed Bdo energy to 33% of the storage amount. Example, if you take 16,000 damage based on max HP, 33%, which would be 5,280, will be converted and returned to as damage to the opponents. They've decreased the cooldown of this, however, from 20 to 12 seconds, and they decreased the duration of the absorbed Bdo energy from 15 to 8. They also adjusted some damage. Prime Cloud Rise, the PvP application is going up to 45.3, and Prime Wing Beat, the damage of attack 1 is going down to 5,000, attack 2 is going up to 10,000, however. It is losing one of the hits, and then we have a split of the PvP damage, 30% on attack 1 and 42 on attack 2. Moving on, we have Scholar, Anti-Gravity. They changed the buff effect to apply to self as follows. So now it is defense nullifying damage plus 30 for 10 seconds on critical hits instead of 40. Flow Gold Continuum, they changed the super armor to end when the skill ends in line with the skill description. Flow Golden Thunder, they adjusted the damage and attack area to increase based on fall height. You must now fall from a higher spot before to trigger the increased damage and attack area. Hammerfall, they changed the recovery HP to 188 per hit. The core of that, now has a knockdown on attack 1. Attraction changed invincibility so it no longer applies during the movement ending motion. And they adjusted PvP damage application, so Home Run going down to 28.3, Flow Continuum going down to 36.38 in attack 1 and 2. The third one is going down to 27.3. Hammer Spin going up to 25.9. Black Spirit Hammer Spin going up to 24.4. Hammerfall going up to 29.1, and Infinite Power going up to 32.1. Moving on, we have Deadeye. So the Frontier Survivor, they've increased the HP consumption when stamina is depleted from 2 times to 4 times the stamina cost. Accordingly, the minimum HP required to activate the Frontier Survivor has been changed below 25% of max HP or below 800 to below 10% or below 1,200. Mayhem, they've changed that stamina does not recover, and Gunslingers and Entrance also does not recover stamina anymore. Sidewinder, then we have some stamina cost adjustments. So Sidewinder going down to 200 instead of 300. Absolute Gunslinger's Entrance, Doom and Gloom, Run and Gun, all being unified at 200, however. Wukong, we have Scorch It All and the Fighting Buddha Scorch It All. They added a stun on attack hits for both the first and last attacks. Cooldown has been changed to 10 seconds. Fighting Buddha's Heaven's Pivot, cooldown has been changed to 8 seconds, so down. The skill add-on tier has adjusted because of that, and they improved the combo more smoothly into other skills. To Shreds, you say, move out of my way, and once again, the all AP increases when not fighting in Buddha state are now plus 24. Extend Longer and the Fighting Buddha version, they changed the knockback to applying PvE only, and they improved the skill execution speed. Tormenting Spike and the Buddha version, they changed the bound to be PvP active as well. They changed the all evasion increase on the Golden Gaze Incomplete to plus 28. On Monkey See, Monkey Do, the stamina cost has been increased from 300 to 500, and it now has a 30-second cooldown instead of a minute. Then we have some regular class changes. So on Warrior, Prime Scars of Dust, there was an issue where the character would rotate. This got fixed. Ranger Windstep, they fixed an issue with the movement distance varying when the skill was on cooldown. On the Elven Rage, to remove the description on increased attack area. Valkyrie's Verdict, Lancia Lust, I think it's supposed to be Justier. Okay. Fixed an issue where the all damage reduction plus 20 was not applied when using the skill. The all damage reduction effects and stats gained while on guard are now consistent. And then we have the Terra Sancta. They fixed an issue where super armor would not last until the skill could combo into another. Actually, I got a few skills on Dragonia where that's the case. Maehwa Frost Pillars. They fixed an issue where the slow motion effect would trigger when using a skill while on cooldown. Maehwa Black Spirit and the Flow Cloud Stab fixed an issue where the accuracy stat was still not displayed in the skill description. Moonbreak, they fixed an issue where the push targets on PvE only text was missing. Lahn Prime Blade Dance, they fixed an issue where the visual effects from the Noble Sword attack third hit was not displayed. Lahn Crescent Barrage, they fixed an issue with the amount of HP recovery on last hit did not match the description. Corsair, they fixed an issue with Labao's all damage reduction rate plus 50 for 5 seconds effect. Triggered under 50%, would activate repeatedly even while the first Into the Fray effect was active. Dracania, they fixed an issue where certain succession skills would recover 1 ion when the back attack damage increase skill add-on was active. Sadly, they didn't fix the ion recovery on removing movement speed debuffs, but we're still waiting on that. Woosa Prime Cloud Rise, they fixed an issue where the last attack would not deal damage in certain situations when comboed after other skills. Dosa Prime Cloud General, they fixed an awkward phrasing. Scholar, they reduced the forward momentum at the start of a fall when falling from a high spot. Seraph Rage Absorption, they fixed an issue when using a skill via quick slot without Black Spirit Rage would apply super armor, and Seraph will now perform the same motion as the other characters when doing so. Then they just mentioned that they will be doing updates very, very quickly in the beginning of the Arena of Solare season, and mentioning that this has started today until June 25th. The ranked matches are generally available on NA from 22 to 06 UTC. On EU, it is 15 to 23 UTC, but let's just go for the back time. So NA, 15 to 23 PDT, and on the CEST, it's 17 and the 1 in the morning the next day. Weekends, it's a bit extended, so we have 4 hours extended at the beginning, or 4 hours earlier, same end time. So this is the same on EU, 4 hours. No, we have less hours earlier. No, am I? Yeah, I'm misreading. We actually have less time. Okay, that's a bit of a surprise. Practice match is always available. Unequipping all exclusive gear and crystals has happened, so you need to do that. They also reset the starting points, so depending on where you ranked last year, you will start anywhere in these apprentice soldier ranks, so you'll be ending up just a tiny bit higher than the other starters. They have 6 maps this time. The maps are Olin's Valley, Kermalund Wilds, Gyfin Razia Temple Upper, Neftak Outpost, Yolu's Teeth, and Dark Seeker's Retreat. This one actually has a little dip, so there might be some height problems there. Arena of Solare, the rank and point system has been revamped. So before everybody had 20 on victory, minus 20 on defeat, this has now been broken down into the ranks. So in beginner to skilled, it's going to be plus 35 and minus 25 respectively. Dawn Spear, this goes down to 31 and minus 25. Shining Spear going down to plus 27 and minus 25. Twilight Spear, plus 25, minus 25. And Radiant Spear, it starts going down even more to plus 23 and minus 23, and on Solare Incarnate to plus 20 and minus 20. They've also adjusted the point multiplier for victory in placement matches, so this is now now 1.5 times. They also revamped the requirements for acquiring and maintaining the top rank Solare Incarnate, so now you must have at least 2,401 points, and you must be among the top 30 out of the adventurers with at least 2,401 points. For example, if you have at least the amount of points and only rank 1st to 30th, you will keep the Solare Incarnate rank, and then if you are below, you will end up in the Radiant Spear. The rank changes based at 2 a.m. every day, so an hour after closing. Then we have the win streak bonuses also being adjusted, and they also added a lose penalty streak. So a percentage of base points gained and lost are added to the calculated point calculation starting from a 3-game win or lose streak. The win streak bonus increased your base based on the rank with each win up to a 7-time streak, and after with a maximum bonus being applied. So again, beginner to skilled, it's a plus 10% up to a plus 50. Dawn Spear, it starts also plus 10 to 50. Shining Spear 10 to 30 only. Then we have Twilight Spear going from 10 to 20 only on a 7-win streak. Radiant Spear going from 10 to 20. And then on Solare Incarnate, you actually get none. There is, however, a lose streak penalty being applied from Twilight Spear, Radiant Spear, and Solare Incarnate. The maximum penalty is applied at a 3-loss streak for Twilight Spear and a 4 at Radiant and Solare Incarnate. So here we have the 3+ lose streak of -5 on Twilight. If you are Radiant Spear or Solare Incarnate, you will get -5 on 3 losses, 3-win streak, or that should be 3-loss streak, and a 4-loss streak will actually get you -10. That is brutal. Also, the dormancy penalty rules are also being adjusted. So if you are Solare Incarnate and you have 3 or more days of inactivity from your last match, the point deduction interval is every day 50 points. On Radiant, also 3 days, every day 40 points, and Twilight Spear at 4 or more days every 2 days at minus 30. They also changed the rules for point decreases resulting from the deserter penalty. So 0 to 2,100 points, you're decreased by 50. If you're at the 2,100 to 2,400, it's 46. And 2,401 and above, it's by 40. They also changed how the match MVP and ace are selected. They decreased the weight of kills and increased the weight of other metrics such as CCs. And there is also the reward rework. So the Shining Spear to Solare Incarnate, you are now looking at 3 1000G gold bars and 70 seals on a win, two 1000G gold bars and 50 seals on a win. If you are Dawn Spear to Shining Spear, which used to be 801, now it's at 1201, you're now looking at 2 1000G gold bars in a win and 500 100G. I think there's typo here that this one is actually a 10,000G because then this one would be higher. Okay, that's a bit weird. Seal of Solare, you get 60 and 40 on the loss. Apprentice Soldier 3 and Skilled Soldier, getting a 1000G times 2 on a win with 50 seals, and 1000 on a loss with 30 seals. And Beginner and Soldiers will only get Seals of Solare with 30 and 150. They also improved the exchange list, so the weapon exchange coupons were main. We have a new gold bar box 3 times a week. This is a little bonus for 150 each. Then we have some oils. Well, the oils in Sturdy Forest Thread are being increased from once per week to 3 times. The Chilling Fragments once per week to 5 times per week. Tough Whale Tendon Elixir going up to 2 times per week. Then we have the Steel Black Magic Crystal and Resplendent Lightstones being added. Then we have the Essence of Gallantry remaining. And in the always exchangeable, the gold bars. 100G is being added for 10 times the cost of the 10G. So just a way to do it faster. There is also a notice on the Arena of Solare HUD update. They previously shared details regarding the AoS HUD during the Calcon Ball, and this is still in the works. It's being worked on. Item-wise, they added the recipes to craft the Immortal Perfume of Courage and Deep Sea into Tenacity and Envy. This is pretty much Immortal into Immortal. Just if you've already turned them into Immortals, you can still convert them now. They also changed the following pre-revamped Altar of Blood items to no longer be obtainable or craftable. The Flare of the Ancients, Dim Origin of Clear Water, Crimson Flame, and Earth, and the Nightmare Fragment. A chat option has been added to the Ahib or Harma in the Mountain of Sanctity if you want to get the knowledge. They also changed the system so that Black Shrine and Altar of Blood weekly rewards are not sent to the Black Spirit safe during the reward calculation period. Approximately 10 minutes from Sunday. Wait, are they back on the regular rewards? That is kind of a surprise. But okay, moving on. We have Monster Altar Blood, the 6th illusion. They improved the fight against Ronin. Ronin's illusions now spawn and charge more frequently, and the mechanic that required destroying the bronze mirror under specific conditions has been reworked. The 4th illusion, they also reduced the number of monsters. On the Sakraya, they changed Sakraya's memory to not destroy the ancient weapons that are not chasing an enemy when it glows. They increased the drop rate effect of Sakraya's shards by 35% of the following monsters, pretty much all of them. And they changed certain mechanics to Sakraya's memory, no longer destroying nearby ancient weapons and continuing to grant the Time of Sakraya buff. Quest of Knowledge, they added an auto HP and mana recovery to the cutscene of the quest Dosa Awakening that day in Sangdo School. They also decreased the DP of the following monsters in the Dosa Awakening main quest. And they added a Mystical Aura NPC to Xingyang as a way to exit the area during the Woosa, Megu, and Dosa Awakening quests. Locate this NPC by following the bridge in the center of Xingyang. NPC background and sound, they improved the flight patterns of seagulls and other birds to fly in more natural formations. Then we have the other really big updates. So, Ulu, Kita, and Adania are joining the Nodewars as new battlefields. With these territories being added, the existing Nodewar territories will be reorganized. So there is a overhaul. So Camisylvia 123 is changed to Ulukita 123, and Camisylvia 456 is being changed to Idania 123. As a result, your main server and the last server connected may change, and guild-based servers have been reset. They also removed the Medaya and Camisylvia from Nodewar following the addition, and they changed certain server names. So yeah, as I mentioned, they also changed the Adana's privilege, return instantly, move to castle to not be available on servers with an ongoing node war, and certain nodes in Ulukita have been changed, so they changed the Atasara from a safe zone to a combat zone, and they decreased the node size of the Sezek mercenary camp, Osperkon, and Barhan camp, and the location of occupation node wars in Adania or Ulukita are as follows. On Adania, we have Tier 5, the Great White Spot and Naftag Outpost, Tier 4, the Eskar Mountains and the Crossroad of Defiance, and Tier 3, the Great Red Spot and the Azure Battlefield. In Ulukita, we have the Neruda Plain as Tier 5 and Atesra, Tier 5, Karasi Canyon and Tungrad Ruins are Tier 4, and City of the Dead and the Shakhtar Wilds are Tier 3. They also changed the occupation and construction nodes in the tiers that are following. So they decreased the total number of nodes per territory from 9 to 6 and expanded the area for the construction mode accordingly. So we have the Belenos node war area being reduced and the Serendia one. Calphion node war, Valencia, Idania, and Ulukita being shown here. They also changed the node war territory groups for each tier at the following for the addition. So territories in tiers 2 to 3. So tier 1 is Balenos and Serendia. Tier 2, Calphion and Ulukita, and Tier 3, the Unlimited Valencia and Adania. Then we have some participant limits being changed per day. Just pause the video if you want to check it out here. Effectively, Belena Serendia generally hovering between that 25 to 30 amount. Calphion and Ulukita hovering between 40 to 50, and Valencia and Adania hovering between 55 and 75, depending on the day. Nodes per each territory as well are being shown here, but overall, you can again pause this if you're interested, or you'll be experiencing it firsthand. Construction nodes and tiers. So here we have Calphion, max gear score 720. So tier 5, 55 players, 35 players, so there are some limits here. You can see the Sunday to Friday split. Just again, pause it if you are interested. Occupation rule changes. They changed the number of participating guilds required to split territories in occupation node wars. So before it was 5 or more, now it is 6 or more. But guilds with fewer than half the registered participants active 50 minutes before the war will not affect territory splitting anymore. Also, a change that is coming for both Node Wars and Blue Battlefield, the question mark forts would often close early, while the final time forts had significant time remaining. So now, the last fort, if it has more than 10 minutes left and its remaining time is then adjusted to be displayed as a question mark. For example, at 21:30, if the last fort is set at 21:45 and its remaining time changes to a question mark, and the new random end time will be set between 21:40 and 22, or well, close to 9, so 20:40 and 21. But overall, you're looking at a time windowed shift at that point. It could be giving you, well, it generally gives you a 10-minute grace period, but then after that, it can happen at any point. The extra points and extra rewards do still apply for the question mark. Construction node war duration change. So they increased the construction node war duration from 1 to 2 hours. Participating rewards and family buffs remain the same. They've also changed the time at which system reveals the enemy fort locations from 30 minutes to 1 hour. Following this change in duration, the restriction and functions to create, disband, and leave guilds are also being changed to 2 hours. And for Conquest War, these functions are restricted for 2 hours, and all affiliate guild members will not be able to leave the guild. There's also a change to the fort construction to be available between 1 hour after the node war ends and 1 hour before the next node war starts. And pretty much, yeah, participation opportunity return, destroy an enemy fort or achieve a KD count of 100 plus. Now your guild fort needs to remain standing, and your guild / alliance achieved either of the following: destroyed an enemy fort or achieved the 100 kill count. Node war max HP rule change. They changed the Node War max HP rule for both occupation and construction, so now max HP is reduced according to the HP limit. They also fixed the issue where injury applied from Black Spirit skills was calculated based on actual max HP instead of the limited one. Now it is going by the limited. Node War reward improvements. So overall, they're increasing the rewards for Node Wars. You're looking at the tier 3, 4, and 5 for the Valencia and Adania being adjusted. Then we have the same thing for the Calphion Ulukita, Belena Serendia as well. They also increased the participation reward for Node Wars. As before, rewards can be obtained upon meeting the requirements. So here you can see the Bdo Serendia, Ulukita Calphion, and Valencia Nidania. Conquest War also being touched upon, so they changed the Conquest War territories. The Belenos Conquest War is no longer an offensive versus defensive battle. Instead, all participating guilds / alliances are enemies, and to achieve victory, only one guild command post must remain by the end of the match. As a result, the point system will not apply. If 2 or more guilds command posts remain, when the timer ends, the territory will be liberated. So we have Tier 1 Belenos. Oh, sorry. Tier 1 was Belenos, Tier 2 Calphion, now it's Serendia, and the unlimited remains Medaya Valencia. Conquest War schedule and rule changes. They decreased the maximum duration of Conquest War from 4 hours to 2 hours, and they updated the rules for the territories. So Belenos Serendia, all participating guilds are enemies. Victory is achieved if only one guild remains. And releasing Calphion, Medaya, and Valencia, guild and alliances are divided into offensive and defensive sides. Offensive guilds can attack each other if forced PvP is active. The defensive side wins if the command post field HQ is defended for 2 hours. The offensive side wins if it is destroyed within 2 hours. Winner determined by points. It's also changed that if there is no defensive side, the last guild and alliance with the remaining command post at the end wins. If 2 or more offensive guild alliance command posts remain at the end, the winner is decided by points. Participation requirement now has occupy a Tier 2 limited to Tier 3 unlimited node at least once per week. Before it was just any tier. They also expanded the annex construction area and the Hawacha limit adjustments. So they expanded the general area, moved some stuff around it, around in the fort. Installation remains restricted on rooftops, hidden spaces, and beneath roofs, entrances, and pathways. The location of the artifact has also been adjusted to reflect the expanded installation area, and revival locations for the following inner and outer gates have also been adjusted. So here we see the inner gate being moved, the outer gate, same thing for Valencia and Calphion. It's also been improved that the defensive annexes can now be installed anywhere within the available installation area, regardless of grid position, and offensive annex installation remains unchanged. They increased the number of watches the Lord Guild can install by 1 from 2 to 3. There is a full list of quantities. Like I said, just pause the video if you are interested in looking at this, or just go for the link and then find it. We're going to scroll up for the defensive side one more time. There we go. Also, the gate durability UI, they added a UI for the defensive side to monitor the gate durability during the Conquest War. The UI will appear below the minimap on the right of the screen, along with the command post durability, and it refreshes every 30 seconds after a fort command post or gate is hit. Previously, it was 60. Point system rules. Now, with a defensive guild, points are earned by killing defensive members or destroying defensive annexes. Points are lost when killed by defensive members. Combat between defensive guilds, KD destruction, does not affect points while the defensive guild remains. Without a defensive guild, points are earned via the kill, death, and destruction between defensive guilds. Highest scoring guild wins. Conquest War point adjustments. There is some point adjustments being done. Overall, there's a destruction. The remaining command post does not get points anymore. Enemy kills are weighted higher. Death by enemy, 1 point still. Iron barricades, well, pretty much most structure kills and fences will give less points. Flame towers as well, less points. Pretty much less points across the board for structures, but kills are going up, and the death penalty remains the same. It's also changed to allow summoning siege weapons like the cannon, ogre, and troll inside the castle during Conquest Wars. Pretty much all guilds can summon them. Merit rewards and benefits. So they added a Conquest merit reward system that grants additional reward based on the participation time and contribution. A total of 200 billion silver is distributed among the participating guilds. Rewards are automatically sent to the Black Spirit safe under collectible silver upon the conclusion. This system applies only to Calphion, Medaya, and Valencia, where it is the 2 attacks. Belenos and Serendia are excluded. Merit rewards are only available to members, including war heroes who press the participate button and actively join the battle. Rewards are not distributed if there is no defensive guild. Rewards are not distributed if the war ends instantly with a defensive victory because only a defensive guild was present. Rewards are only distributed to guild and alliances whose command posts remain standing when the war ends. And even if an offensive guild has a high contribution, they will not receive merit rewards if their command post is destroyed before the end of the war. And you can attack both offensive and defensive side with forced PvP. So defensive success, the defensive side receives 100% of the merit reward, equally distributed. Defensive failure, the defensive side receives a portion of the reward based on the time they held out. And on an offensive success, the reward pool minus the amount earned by the defensive side is distributed among the surviving offensive guild based on their points. So overall, the ratio is from 30 minutes, below 30 minutes, 100% offensive side. Every 10 minutes, it increases, with 10% going to the defensive side. They also added a powerful family buff benefits to the Conquest War and the Victory Rewards. These buffs are applied immediately after the Conquest War ends. The effects and durations vary based on the result. Item drop rate buff rewards stack beyond the maximum cap of 300. So here we have the Conquest War Victory Lord Guild / Alliance. So the target all members, extra AP plus 25, drop rate 25, mastery 100, 50% life XP for 6 days and 21 hours. This does not stack and does not increase, and is not refreshed by Nodewar Victory and remains active. Conquest War Victory offensive side will get the same, but it is only for 48 hours, it seems. The Conquest War Participation and Defeat, command post destroyed or defense failed, participants only get it. It's a 20 AP monster AP, 20 item drop rate, 80 mastery, and 45 life XP, and again for 48 hours. This one will be refreshed by Nodewar Victories, though. If you were not logged into the participating server when the buff is granted, please change server or go to the character selection to receive it. They also expanded the monster zone and item drop rate benefits for the Lord Guilds to cover the entire territory. So before it was occupied territory only, now it's all monster zones across all territories. This expansion now includes Ulukita and Edania territories. Drop rate increase effect by territory. Tier 1, all monster zones 20%. Serendia, all monster zones 30%. And unlimited, all monster zones and plus 50. They also adjusted the tax obtainable by tier. So tier 1, 30 to 40 bill. Tier 2, 50 to 60. And 60 to 70 on tier 3. Then finally, we have siege and weapon balance adjustments. Overall, just some AP changes. It used to be AP scaling, now it's 1000 fixed. 300 damage over time, all damage reduction effect of minus 50 to minus 200. This is for Doomcaller and for both attacks, with a fixed damage being higher on the Hellfire Blaze. On the Ogre, there is now a max AP limit of 395, with 900,000 HP instead of 6 million. DP increased by approximately 7 times. Same thing for the Troll, with a bit more HP and 9-time increased DP. Medium Siege Tower, 4,000, so doubling the HP and the back attack removed. Large Siege Tower, doubling the HP and back attack removed. Install Annex. Annex. The HP is 1% at start and recovers 0.1 per second. Now it's 5% at start and recovers 0.15 per second. And the Watcher, Big Watcher, damage dealt to Siege Towers has been increased by 1,000. They also fixed an issue where Doomcaller's damage reduction and evasion debuff stacked duration has been reduced from 15 to 10 seconds, and they doubled the amount recovered when repairing wooden fences with usable Scantling 2. Note in Conquest War quality of life improvements. They changed so annexes can be upgraded in advance before construction Node War and Conquest begins. Applicable annexes, barricades, flame towers, hawachas for occupation Node Wars installation and upgrades are still only available after the war starts. They improved the elephant nursery, so you can now select and take out specific elephants. And they improved the show location of guild members function on the world map, so locations is now shared with all alliance members, regardless of whether it is in progress. They also changed the guild skills, command together and battle command together, so they can now be used in the desert. They also improved the system so messages appear immediately when your installed traps exceed the maximum limit. Note in Conquest War, exclusive system messages. So they added exclusive messages to the chat settings. You can enable these, improve the system notifications to be more detailed. So cannon hits building, family hit blah blah blah, annex with a lynch cannon, cannon destroys building, kill with a siege weapon, ally died to a siege weapon, annex install / complete, upgrade complete. Also killing streak notifications and detailed results UI. So they added a kill streak notification UI similar to Guild League, which lasts 15 seconds and is only visible to yourself. This UI, they also added a detailed result UI to view your personal performance after the war ends. This UI will appear after the battle. You can track specific contributions such as damage dealt, CCs, ally HP healed, cannon hits, destructions, and traps triggered. And because fort and annexes have very high durability, the total damage dealt to fort and command posts may appear significantly higher than other stats. Destroying traps with flares. They added a new feature that allows enemy traps to be destroyed using flare and quick flare. Using a flare reveals enemy traps within range. You can then attack and destroy them for approximately 10 seconds. Trap effects will not trigger while the flare effect is active. And during Conquest Wars, you can also destroy ally traps if Force PvP is enabled. This also applies outside of Node and Conquest Wars. Then they have the following guide outlines: the family buff, rewards, requirements, and conditions for participation. Pretty much standard, nothing too crazy. There is a mention of the Blue Battlefield, personal reward, final occupation of the fort, Guild Alliance participating members, family buff, all members of the Victorious Alliance, family buff participation. Nothing new there. UI-wise, they added a display button at the bottom with guild members to show members participating as a war heroes in Node and Conquest Wars and War of the Roses. Web, they fixed an issue where search results in the adventure guide appeared awkward when using terms containing slashes or spaces. They also improved issues were, they improved the following of the AoS of knowledge when a reply is deleted or hidden, so they do not disappear completely. Instead, a no disregarded deletion will remain in their place. Modifications and changes. Yolunakia, they fixed an issue where Yolu's eye would occasionally fail to appear after Tuntaros rose into the sky. They changed the species of the Sordid Deportee and Dark Eyes Wanderer in Pilaku to humans, matching the others. They corrected the ingredient descriptions for the fish fillet salad in the cooking course Calphion meal. Fixed an awkward dialogue for adventurers during the combat course. Fixed an issue where adventurers occasionally failed to join a party when matching for Altar Blood. Increased the Spook's attack area in Altar Blood by 66%. Fixed collision detections for certain monsters in Hex's Sanctuary. Fixed the issue where the Ancient Creature scale could be obtained by defeating certain monsters in the lower zone. Fixed the durability plus option to no longer appear for items with a 100% enhancement chance. They also adjusted the camera angle during conversations with the trade manager on Ilia Island. Improved descriptions for Red Essence. Improved some natural descriptions for level 6 and 7 barter items. Relocated structures that obstructed ship movement during the bartering in the Land of the Morning Light. Improved a specific spot near the Abyssal Well exit near Medaya where auto run was not smooth. Boss Info UI has quite a few fixes, so no boss notifications, adjusted key guide, tab names clearly indicate the current selected tab, issues with boss names being too difficult to read, and updating bottom right to include the count of currently appeared world, field, and hunting bosses. Dark Rift UI, they updated the visual effect for the icon on the bottom right and the bottom right boss info. They also updated the explanation of Devour in Enhancement UI to be more accurate, improved the mount status description for the Stable and Wharf UI, fixed an issue where Vel was shown as appeared on the World Boss Info UI starting 10 minutes before its actual appearance, fixed an issue where empty equipment slots icons for mounts looked awkward in the Wharf UI, fixed an issue where certain gear at Hex or higher did not appear in the Find My Item search, updated system displays, client crashes occurring when an item location while using the storage keep your items sale function, improved the search rules for family name searches in the custom album library. Then we have quite a few gamepad mode fixes in the boss UI, special barter key guide, skill guide UI, removed the score tab of the owner list in the blue main Lions Manor, fixed awkward scrolling in the storage by territory there, adjusted red battlefield UI to snap focus, fixed an issue where the enable boss notification settings were visible even when not viewing the UI, adjusted durability alert UI in Altar Blood. Altar Blood's 6th illusion, they fixed an issue where characters could not move to certain locations. They also fixed an issue where pressing hotkeys to open storage and center market displayed an awkward message. They renamed the level 7 Tariff Magic Pot to Tariff Magic Jar. They fixed an issue where the incorrect information appeared on the description when checking a territory in Nodewar during its progress. Updated the Conquest War family buff info shown when hovering over the territory as icons. Fixed an issue where elephants info displayed incorrectly after registering an elephant, and they fixed an issue where the cross-search UI for main and simplified quests appeared for certain characters, and the Nampoke geographic knowledge was fixed as well. Events-wise, we have Bliss and Fortune in Monsters and Fish till May 14th. So find blissful boxes in monster zones to drop them. Open the box to obtain the following. You get guaranteed some shards, magical shards, and 3 cronstones. You have a probability chance for an auspicious box, 200 or 100 cronstones and enhancement help kits. The auspicious box, 5,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, or 500 cronstones. That is quite nice. Catching fish with Bliss and Fortune anywhere. Complete the event quests. So you get a 50 mil, 30 mil, or 10 mil fish. This is anywhere, not affecting regular catch rates. And then you can go to Creo and Velia for the auspicious box times 5. Monster zones that drop the auspicious box, pretty much Balanos, Sakraya, Ruins, Upper and Lower, Prada Cave, Serendia, all of Elvia, Calphion, all of Elvia, and Paddock, Star's End, Abandoned Monastery, and Cyclops. Medaya only has Schultz's Guard and Kortuga. Valencia is pretty much all of Valencia, same thing for Campsylvia. Dregan, Odalita, Everfrost has Winter Tree, Fossil, Murwalk, and Jade. Ulukita has all zones. Lahn the Morning Light has all of its zones, and Adania has all of its zones as well. Then we have the Lucky Hot Time for Adventurers, also running till May 14th. So pretty much 500% combat XP, 200 skill, and 50% life XP, and 100% drop rate. Solare Special Pass to Victory is back. The sales period is till May 21st. Afterwards, you can claim the rewards till May 28th. Getting points according to the Arena of Solare match results: 5 points, 3 points on a draw, 2 points on a defeat. Getting the points will go unlock it, just like the other pass. You can buy the pass, getting the other back end for the Seal of the Sun again, but that's only if you really want that, and to effectively unlock the titles. There are some new social actions to heat up the battlefield, but again, just the dances. You can add them at the end of the screen, I believe, and you can dance on the end screen. Toward a New Throne, Solare, April 30th to May 21st again. Into the battle, check out the Arena of Solare event quests. You can grab the Master of Ascent quest, giving you a Choose Your Spring outfit, Lightborn outfit. April 30th to May 7th, you get the Choose Your Spring outfit. May 7th to 14th, you get the Lightborn outfit, and then afterwards you get your Dark Swept from 14th to 21st. Weekly 2, the new Master of Ascent 2 is 1,000 Cronstones, Superior Well Tandem Potions, and Perfume of Corrosion Deep Sea. New Master of the Ascent 3, win 10 ranked matches. Till May 21st, you get the Ultimate Premium Enhancement Box and Sturdy Forest Thread. The Mysterious Ore also returns till May 14th. Effectively, obtaining Mysterious Ore by subjugating and mining, so grinding and mining. Use the Mysterious Ore to get crystals and ores, so Trace of Nature, Platinum Ore, Sharp Black Crystal Shards, Rough Stone, with a probability of all these crystals and Resplendent Lightstones and such. You can also help Dalishain through the quests and complete the quest for guaranteed crystals. You get one of the ultimate combined, one of the Crystal of Stalwart, Fortitude, Dog Patience, Unyielding Spirit, or one of the Frozen Bitterness, Brutal Decimation, or Mysterious Darkness. And with that, we're finally in the Pearl Shop update. It has been a long one. We have a new outfit available starting today, Cerulean Knight, effectively a Kunoichi outfit, I technically say, but it is not Kunoichi alone. It is Kunoichi, Witch, Dracania, Deadeye, Ranger exclusive. Wearing this helmet may hide your accessories. Toggle a hide headgear feature to reveal them. Wearing this helmet with other armors may change the appearance of the helmet, and it will hide your weapons when out of combat. You can hide the cape feature to reveal them. Wearing this armor will hide your underwear and swimwear, and wearing these shoes with other armor may change the appearance of shoes. This outfit cannot be registered on the central market, so you will have to get it effectively with pearls. You have the outfit itself being shown, 2,200 pearls. There's an outfit pack for 2. The Solaris passes here with 1,900. Then we have the Starlight Fishing Rod coming back. It is still limited to 30 days. Coupon Pro boxes, effectively a 6,000 box with a 10% coupon, a 10,000 with a 20%. Sweet Travel Support Pack, pretty much Gamba boxes, nothing crazy there. Same thing for the Ancient Forgotten Chest, Gamba. Then we have minus 50 on the Blessing of Old Moon 7 days. This is always a nice one if you want to get it cheap. 758 pearls. There is a Gamba box rating Glyph Treasure Chest. I'd skip. 50% off item brand spellstones for 5 stones, that's pretty decent, and 50% off Nader's Parchment if you still require it. And with that, I can say I wish you the absolute best of luck, and I'll hopefully see you around.